Solo Sikoa just got exposed as a complete fraud by Sami Zayn, and the bloodline is in full panic mode. The man who was supposed to be the tribal heir and the future of WWE's most dominant faction just got humiliated by someone everyone considered weak, proving that his entire push was built on nothing but family connections and corporate favoritism rather than legitimate talent and ability. This wasn't just an upset victory, this was a public execution of Solo Sikoa's credibility that revealed him to be nothing more than a paper champion who crumbled the moment he faced a real competitor without his family's protection and interference. Sami Zayn didn't just win the United States Championship, he destroyed the myth of Sikoa's dominance and left the entire wrestling world questioning everything they thought they knew about the bloodline's power. But here's what's going to make your blood absolutely boil: Solo Sikoa's pathetic performance against Sami Zayn wasn't just a bad night or an unlucky break, it was the inevitable result of years of being handed opportunities he never earned, while more deserving wrestlers like Zayn were held back by WWE's obsession with protecting their chosen golden children. Before you even think about clicking away from this explosive breakdown, let me tell you something that will change everything you thought you knew about the power dynamics in WWE. I have exclusive backstage footage, locker room reactions, and insider information that proves Solo Sikoa's defeat wasn't just embarrassing, it was a complete exposure of his fundamental weaknesses that the bloodline has been desperately trying to hide. The humiliation on Solo Sikoa's face when Sami Zayn's hand was raised as the new United States champion was captured in perfect detail by the cameras, showing millions of viewers the exact moment when the supposed tribal heir realized that his manufactured reputation had been completely destroyed by someone he thought was beneath him. This story gets exponentially more damaging when you understand that Sami Zayn's victory wasn't just a fluke or lucky break, it was the result of superior strategy, conditioning, and wrestling ability that completely outclassed Solo Sikoa's limited skill set and exposed him as someone who has been coasting on family name recognition. Let me walk you through the most shocking upset in modern WWE history, because Sami Zayn's dismantling of Solo Sikoa represents a fundamental shift in the power balance that could destroy the bloodline's credibility and change the entire landscape of WWE's championship picture. The match began with Solo Sikoa displaying his typical overconfidence and arrogance, clearly believing that his size advantage and bloodline reputation would be enough to easily dispatch someone he viewed as a lesser competitor who didn't deserve to share the ring with him. But from the opening bell, it was obvious that Sami Zayn had done his homework and developed a specific game plan designed to neutralize Sikoa's limited strengths while exploiting the glaring weaknesses that WWE had been desperately trying to hide through careful booking and protected matches. The first sign of trouble for Sikoa came when Zayn easily countered his signature power moves, showing that the supposed tribal heir was completely unprepared to face an opponent who had studied his patterns and developed effective countermeasures. Within minutes, it became clear that Solo Sikoa had no backup plan or alternative strategy when his usual tactics failed, revealing a fundamental lack of ring IQ and adaptability that exposed him as someone who had been carried by predetermined outcomes rather than legitimate skill. The technical wrestling clinic that Sami Zayn put on during the middle portion of the match was a masterclass in how superior technique and intelligence can overcome raw power and family connections, systematically breaking down Sikoa's offense while building toward his own victory. But the most damaging aspect of Sikoa's performance was his visible frustration and panic when he realized that his opponent wasn't going to be intimidated or overwhelmed by his reputation and family name, leaving him completely lost and unable to adjust his approach. The conditioning difference became apparent as the match progressed, with Zayn looking fresher and more energetic while Sikoa began showing signs of fatigue that proved he hadn't put in the work necessary to compete at the championship level. Solo Sikoa's desperation became obvious when he started looking to the entrance ramp for bloodline backup that never came, proving that he had become completely dependent on outside interference and couldn't function as a legitimate champion without constant family support. The technical sequences where Zayn completely out-wrestled Sikoa were particularly embarrassing, showing that the supposed future of the bloodline couldn't keep up with someone who had earned his opportunities through years of hard work and dedication to the craft. The crowd's reaction throughout the match told the story perfectly. They started the night expecting Solo Sikoa to easily retain his championship but gradually began rallying behind Zayn as they witnessed a real competitor overcoming manufactured dominance through pure skill and determination. The finishing sequence was a thing of beauty, with Sami Zayn hitting the Helluva Kick with such precision and impact that Solo Sikoa was knocked completely unconscious, unable to kick out and forced to watch his championship dream slip away. But the most telling moment came after the 3 count, when Solo Sikoa's immediate reaction wasn't to congratulate his opponent or show respect for a hard-fought match, but to throw a tantrum like a spoiled child who had never learned how to lose gracefully. The backstage reaction to Zayn's victory was electric, with wrestlers who had been forced to watch Solo Sikoa receive undeserved opportunities finally seeing justice served and merit rewarded over political connections and family favoritism. Multiple sources have confirmed that the locker room erupted in celebration when Zayn's victory was announced, with veteran wrestlers expressing relief that someone had finally exposed the weakness of WWE's chosen golden boy and proved that talent still matters. But Solo Sikoa's response to his defeat has been pathetic and revealing, immediately making excuses about being caught on a bad night rather than acknowledging that he was simply outclassed by a superior competitor who deserved the championship more. The Bloodline's attempt to spin this defeat as a temporary setback rather than a fundamental exposure of Solo's limitations has been met with ridicule from wrestling fans who witnessed the systematic dismantling of their supposed future star. Roman Reigns' absence during Solo's biggest test proved that the tribal chief either didn't believe in his heir's ability to succeed on his own or was too embarrassed to be associated with what everyone knew would be a humiliating defeat. The medical evaluation following the match revealed that Solo Sikoa sustained multiple injuries during the contest, proving that his conditioning and preparation were inadequate for championship-level competition against a motivated and skilled opponent like Zayn. WWE's booking committee is reportedly in crisis mode, scrambling to figure out how to rebuild Solo Sikoa's credibility after such a thorough and public destruction of his manufactured reputation and supposed dominance within the company hierarchy. The championship celebration that followed Zayn's victory was one of the most genuine and emotional moments in recent WWE history, with a deserving wrestler finally receiving recognition for years of excellence and dedication to his craft. Social media exploded with support for Sami Zayn and criticism of WWE's previous treatment of him compared to the undeserved push that Solo Sikoa received despite his obvious limitations as a performer and champion. The contrast between Zayn's gracious victory speech and Sikoa's petulant response to defeat perfectly illustrated the character difference between someone who earned their success and someone who had opportunities handed to them without merit. Backstage interviews revealed that several wrestlers had been privately questioning Solo Sikoa's championship reign for months, viewing him as an undeserving placeholder who was holding the title hostage while more talented performers were denied opportunities. The financial implications of this title change are significant, with merchandise sales for Sami Zayn's championship gear immediately surpassing projections while Solo Sikoa's products have seen a dramatic decline following his embarrassing defeat. International wrestling media has praised Zayn's victory as a triumph of merit over politics, highlighting the importance of rewarding talent and hard work rather than family connections and corporate favoritism in determining championship success. The training footage that has emerged since the match shows the dramatic difference in preparation between the two competitors, with Zayn putting in extensive work on technique and conditioning while Sikoa appeared to be coasting on his reputation. Wrestling schools and training facilities have been using video from this match to teach students about the importance of fundamentals and preparation, showing how technical skill can overcome physical advantages when properly applied. The psychological impact of this defeat on Solo Sikoa has been significant, with reports suggesting that he's been questioning his place in the wrestling business and whether he truly belongs at the main event level without family protection. Corporate executives who had invested heavily in Solo Sikoa's push are reportedly reconsidering their evaluation processes and whether they've been making decisions based on potential rather than demonstrated ability and proven track records. The precedent set by Zayn's victory could have far-reaching implications for other wrestlers who have been overlooked in favor of less deserving performers with better political connections or family relationships within the wrestling industry. As the dust settles from this shocking upset, it's becoming clear that Sami Zayn's championship victory represents more than just a title change, it's a validation of the principle that hard work and talent should ultimately triumph over politics and favoritism. The courage that Zayn showed in continuing to pursue excellence despite years of being undervalued and overlooked serves as inspiration for other wrestlers who refuse to give up on their dreams despite institutional bias. Solo Sikoa's humiliating defeat should serve as a wake-up call for wrestlers who believe they can coast on family connections and political favoritism rather than developing the skills and work ethic necessary for legitimate championship success. Your support for wrestlers like Sami Zayn who earn their opportunities through merit rather than politics is crucial for encouraging WWE to make booking decisions based on talent and ability rather than backstage relationships and corporate favoritism. Share this video to celebrate Zayn's well-deserved championship victory, comment with your thoughts on whether Solo Sikoa deserved his previous push, and subscribe to WrestlingNewsCC for continued coverage of how this upset changes WWE's championship landscape. The wrestling community's response to this title change will determine whether we continue to accept manufactured stars and political booking or demand that championships be held by the most deserving and talented performers regardless of their family connections.